Hello Year 3 and welcome to an art tutorial which will go alongside the mark making activities from the art challenges this week. So this week's art challenges are building up to creating an image, a drawing next week. So first of all we need to practice our pencil skills. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of all the different ways that you can use your pencil. Now you might want to try this with other equipment such as a crayon or a felt tip pen, a coloured pencil, and see which ones work best. But I'm just going to use just a regular HB pencil, the kind of pencils that you would use when writing at school. So the first way we're going to use our pencil is by creating some vertical and horizontal lines. So quite simply, I'm just drawing vertical lines, they're quite close together, and then some horizontal lines. There we go. The next thing then is to combine these to create something called cross hatching. So we do our vertical lines first and then horizontal lines over the top. That's our first technique. Then we're going to do pretty much the same thing, but this time with diagonal lines. So you can practice diagonal lines in one direction, diagonal lines in the other direction, and then you can combine them. You can also then combine our cross hatching with our horizontal and vertical lines alongside our diagonal lines. So some diagonal lines, my vertical, and then my horizontal lines. You can see gradually the more layers I'm creating, the darker the colour of my pencil, and that's what we're aiming for, being able to use our pencil in lots of different ways to create shade, so light and dark. So the next technique is literally just creating a zigzag line. Notice how I'm holding my pencil. I'm actually holding it quite high up, I'm not holding it down here. You can also explore with that may well change the line that you are creating. So by holding it further up, the angle of the pencil changes, so you can change how much of the lead is on the page. So I could hold it even further up, more of the lead is on, and I should get a different kind of line. Now I'm going to do my diagonal lines in a similar way, so I'm having more of the lead on the page, and you'll be able to see that it gives a different effect than my original lines over here. Now I'm going to do zigzag and that horizontal together. So although I've used very similar marks to here, because the angle of my pencil is different, the effect is different as well. Now we could do on the side, pushing it and pulling it to create layers. We could just almost dots, just again on the side of your pencil, just pulling down. You'll see the more I do it, the blunter my pencil's getting, so the thicker the lines are getting. You could create something called a herringbone pattern, which is lots of zigzags. Or we could do, let me just find my examples, squiggly lines, layering squiggly lines as well. And if we do our squiggly lines, layers of squiggly lines with horizontal and vertical, we get something that looks almost like a bit of knitting. So kind of, if you look at wool clothes, a jumper or something, you can try and get that kind of effect. And then the last one for the first set of challenges are wavy lines. Quite simply, wavy lines. But if you apply more pressure and then lighten the pressure, so press harder and then press lighter, you can change what your lines look like as well. So there's the first part of the mark making activities. Then we can move on to the second set. Very similar, again using your pencil in different ways. So we might just have scribbling. Again, I'm using the side of my pencil rather than the tip, and I'm just layering up lots of scribbles. We could have scribbles in different ways, different directions. To create layers, you might want to press lighter with your pencil and do some scribbles. A lot of this is all about control and how you hold your pencil, how much pressure you apply, how fast, how slow you go. And then we could also have a go at another herringbone, this time maybe disjointed, so my lines aren't quite joined up. Then we could have a go with our diagonal lines on the side of the pencil and make them slightly bigger for this. And then with a finger, oh, you can't see that one, sorry. I rub over and it's going to smudge. You might want to use just random marks, like random lines. In lots of directions. Could be that you use something called stippling, so dots. It's a bit like the pointillism challenge with George Seurat that we had the other week. You might want to do lots of squiggles. Or a combination of some of these with some smudging. So I might do a bit of cross hatching. And then get my finger and smudge. You'll find that some pencils will smudge better than others depending on how much graphite there is in the lead.